So I want to come back to the whole event side of it, right? You met your mentor, Jason Costal, at the Holy Grail Guitar Show in Berlin. Now,
That's right.
and these are trade shows, I'd imagine, where a lot of builders like yourself come together, exchange notes, and talk about what you're building and show off what you've been building, right? But what else happens at these events? What are the other kind of people in the ecosystem? And do you think we could ever see something like that being hosted in India at some point in the near future?
Wow. Well, the shows are, like you said, it's like a trade show. So trade shows are typically more, they're slightly bigger than the kind of shows that I exhibit my work at, in the sense that it would be, there'd be big brands coming in. They would have massive booths, so Fender, Gibson, amplifier manufacturers, whatever it is, and they would. That's like a massive. It's almost like a carnival, but for music-related stuff.
Yeah.
Right. The kind of shows that I would participate at are also big. I mean, there would be maybe anywhere from 100 to 150 luthiers each. All of us get a table. We've got a couple of big halls which are just filled up with tables, and we exhibit our guitars there. The idea behind these kind of shows is for people to walk in and get a chance to meet the builder.
Right.
Because these are builders coming in from all over the world, and it's almost impossible to catch anyone in person.
Right.
Because these guys have wait periods of 5 years, 6 years for an instrument.
What's the wait period on yours?
Currently, it's about a year and a half.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things where, a lot of builders don't allow visitors into their workshops as well, simply because it's not because they don't like meeting people, but it's a time suck. So if I get a visitor, even with the best of intentions, it's like I've lost out on more than half a day of getting any work done.
Makes sense.
And every week, just me, and I'm sitting in India over here, every week I'll get about 6 or 7 emails saying, can I come visit? Can I come visit?
Right.
Now the challenge becomes how to deal with that in a polite manner without upsetting somebody, but at the same time trying to make them understand that I can't be socializing throughout.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why it's difficult for people to meet in person. And so these shows are great because they insist that the builder's there. You can't send a representative to showcase your work.
Yeah.
And so people come in, they have a chat, and it's a nice community, over there.
Right.
Along with the actual show, invariably it's preceded by a couple of days of like a mini conference of sorts for the builders.
Right. A lot of sessions.
So we sit and have, you got sessions and presentations, and one will talk about how his approach to building. One will talk about new species of wood that they've discovered. One will talk about how to deal with emerging markets in certain parts of the world. So it's just about helping that community of builders grow and say, how do we make life better for everybody around? By adding whatever we can. One will be sharing funny stories about their interactions with clients or whatever it is. It's a nice way of people to interact and not only be thinking about selling. Because during the exhibition, everybody's just like, okay, client, let me find someone to sell a guitar to or get an order.
Right.
So that works. Yeah, it's about the craft. And then in the evenings, you got dinners, you'll do a barbecue, just informally hang out. Because even between the builders, we don't get to hang out. Everyone's just busy building.
Yeah.
So it's a nice platform. It just kind of brings everybody together. As for doing something like this in India, I think we are still quite a ways off. I have thought about it in the past several times, but I think we're quite a long way off from there, because for people it's not about organizing the event. The event can be organized. That's easy enough.
Right.
It's about getting potential buyers in there. People who are willing to spend that kind of money just on the spot or place an order on the spot.
Yeah.
Because for any builder to come in for a show, you're going to be spending a few $1,000s just to get there, rent a table, exhibit your work, not to mention that you're going to build a couple of guitars and put them up for sale. So that's also time. And, it's cost. There's a lot of cost involved in that. And not knowing whether there's a buyer for it or not.
Right.
So keeping those things in mind, it could work in India. It's not that people don't have the money. They need to have the willingness to come in there and say, all right, I'm on board. Let me buy it. And I think over the years that has improved, definitely, since I started out, at least in the past decade.
Right.
The number of folks willing to invest in a high-end instrument has dramatically increased, and I think that's great. I think it's absolutely great because it's a tool at the end of the day. You know,
Right.
it's a tool for a musician, and if you have a good tool at your disposal, you're more likely to use it.
Yes.
You're more likely to compose on it. You're more likely to pick it up off that wall or take it out of its case and do something with it, as opposed to buying one guitar which you're buying because you're like, okay, I'm on a budget, so let me buy this, and then in 2 years you're looking to sell it, then you buy another one, then and you get into that loop of buying and selling, and you spend most of your life doing that, and in the long run you spend a lot more money than you would have just buying a damn good guitar to begin with. Right? Because these are heirloom instruments. You take care of them, they will last you your lifetime. You know, they'll go down to your children.
Okay.
So yes, it's expensive, but you're looking at it over a much longer time period than you are a Yamaha or, you know, whatever.
Or any other commercial brand.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Fair enough.